Radha Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 3 Chapter 24 Text 13. Etavati eva shushrusha karya pitari putrake badam iti anumanyeta Gauravena Guror Vachaha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Sons ought to render service to the father exactly to this extent. One should obey the command of his father or spiritual master with due deference, saying, "Yes, sir." So Brahma was congratulating Kartama Muni, right? Because Kapila Dev is born, so Brahma has come congratulating Kardama Muni and also glorifying him and appreciating that Kardama Muni was, he listened to the instructions of Brahma. He listened to the instructions of Brahma. Two words in this very verse are very important. One word is Pitari and another word is Guroho. The son or disciple should accept the words of his spiritual master and father without hesitation. Whatever the father and the spiritual master order, whatever the father and the spiritual master order should be taken without argument. Yes, there should be no instance in which the disciple or the son says, "This is not correct. I cannot carry it out." When he says that, he is fallen. The father and the spiritual master on the same platform, because a spiritual master is the second father. The higher classes are called Dvija, twice born. Whenever there is a question of birth, there must be a father. The first birth is made possible by the actual father, and the second birth is made possible by the spiritual master. So here we are speaking about the father who is righteous, whose order should be followed. You know, that Brahma is so great, he's so qualified. And so his sons are also like that. We see Swayambhuva Manu, "Yes, my dear father, what you would like me to do." And Kardama Muni also following the orders of Brahmaji. So because the father and the spiritual master are so qualified, then the son or the disciple should follow the orders of such great qualified father and spiritual master. And the spiritual master is called a father because he gives the spiritual birth. Dvija, Dvija, twice born, right? So the first birth we get is from the seminal birth. It's called the seminal birth. But the second birth is when one gets initiated into the Gayatri. So that's why it's called Dvija, and that is the spiritual master. So that's the reason the spiritual master is called the spiritual father. Sometimes the father and the spiritual master may be the same man, and sometimes they're different men. In any case, the order of the father or the order of the spiritual master must be carried out without hesitation, with an immediate yes. There should be no argument. That is real service to the father and to the spiritual master. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has stated that the order of the spiritual master is the life and soul of the disciples. Yasya prasadat bhagavad prasado. In the Guru Ashtakam, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, because by pleasing the spiritual master, we please Krishna. By displeasing the spiritual master, we are displeasing Krishna. So that's the reason. The order of the spiritual master is the life and soul of the disciples. As a man cannot, and then also in the Guru Vandana, that the lotus feet of our spiritual master are the only way by which we attain pure devotional service. Every day we sing this prayers to the spiritual master, that the lotus feet of the spiritual master are the only way by which we can attain pure devotional service. Because by carrying out the order of the spiritual master, by pleasing him, Krishna is pleased. And by the mercy of the spiritual master, then our ignorance is destroyed. We are reinstated in our original position. Pure devotional service is the original position of every living entity. So that's the reason the importance is there. So as a man cannot separate his life from his body, a disciple cannot separate the order of the spiritual master from his life. If a disciple follows the instruction of the spiritual master in that way, he is sure to become perfect. So does anybody remember any examples where the disciple followed the instructions of the spiritual master and his life became perfect?
Prahlad Maharaj followed the instructions of Narad Muni. Even Dhruv Maharaj followed the instructions of Narad Muni. Even Valmiki.
That's right.
Followed the instructions of Narad Muni. So I think that he's one of who has given
Narad Muni.
Yeah, Narad Muni has given shiksha. Like he's the most guru who's given.
Yeah, Mrigari the hunter.
Mrigari the hunter, yes.
Yes, we also attain perfection by following the order of Narad Muni and our own dear Srila Prabhupada.
Prabhupada, yes.
Yeah,
Vishwanath Chakravarti.
He followed the instruction of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati to preach the message of Bhagavad Gita in the West in the English language.
Yes.
So, and then if the disciple follows the instruction of the spiritual master in that way, he is sure to become perfect. We are all searching for perfection, right? We all want self-realization. That is perfection. That's the aim of human life. Just following the instruction of spiritual master. This is confirmed in the Upanishads. The import of Vedic instruction is revealed automatically only to one who has implicit faith in the Supreme Personality of Godhead and in his spiritual master. So, which one is this? Yasya deve parabhaktir, yatha deve tatha guru. Yasya deve parabhaktir, yatha deve tatha guru. One should have implicit faith, one who has implicit faith in the Supreme Lord and in the spiritual master. All the Vedic knowledge is revealed to him. One can realize the Vedic knowledge, not only hear it or try to understand it on the mental platform, but actually realize that, because the Vedic knowledge is revealed automatically to one who has equal faith in Guru and Krishna. It is equal faith, implicit faith. One may be materially considered an illiterate man, but if he has faith in the spiritual master, as well as in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then the meaning of scriptural revelation is immediately manifested before him. So here it is said that just by having implicit faith in Guru and Krishna, by hearing from them, following the instruction of the spiritual master, then that's the point of liberation. The scriptural revelation is immediately manifest. The Vedic instruction is revealed. So that's liberation. And we can understand self-realization. The whole Vedic knowledge is revealed. And implicit faith in spiritual master also comes to me. Another example is the Brahmana in South India, where Lord Caitanya was visiting the temple. I'm not sure if it was Sri Rangam temple or some temple in South India. And the Brahmana was there. And the Brahmana was trying to read Bhagavad Gita. And he was crying. His tears were coming from his eyes. So this Brahmana, every time, whenever he was read, the other Brahmanas would be always laughing at him, because he was illiterate. He didn't even know how to hold the Gita properly. He didn't know where's the beginning, where is the end. And he was somehow or the other trying to recite the verses. He's not a learned person, He's not a Sanskrit scholar. He does not know what the words mean. So, but he's reading, and he's trying to read whatever he's able to. He's trying to read, and there's tears flowing from his eyes. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes to him and says, "My dear Brahmana, why are you crying?" So this Brahmana, he understood that Lord Chaitanya is coming from a place of friendship, from a place of purity. He's not coming to make fun of him, because the others would always come to make fun of him. And they would be sarcastic to him. So he told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that, my spiritual master has given me this instruction. He told me every day you read the Bhagavad Gita, all 700 verses. So but I'm illiterate. I really don't know how to read. I don't know what these words are. So I'm trying my best. So then Lord Chaitanya says, but you're crying, How can you say you don't understand Bhagavad Gita? I see you're crying. Why are you crying then if you don't understand Bhagavad Gita? He says, I'm crying because when I'm opening the pages of Bhagavad Gita, I can see Krishna, who's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Lord. He's sitting on a chariot, and he's the chariot driver of his devotee Arjuna. And Arjuna is there, and Krishna is there, and I'm seeing them, and that's why I'm crying. And then Lord Chaitanya said that you are the Acharya of Bhagavad Gita. You have understood Bhagavad Gita. So this shows, because the Brahmana had implicit faith in his spiritual master and in Krishna, and the whole knowledge of Bhagavad Gita was revealed. He's able to see Krishna and Arjuna. What more do you want? And able to understand the position of Krishna and Arjuna. And so Lord Chaitanya said, you are the Acharya of Bhagavad Gita. So anything material is not an impediment to our spiritual progress. Is that okay? Any comments, questions, anything to add?
What does it mean? Anything material is not an impediment.
Yes.
Okay.
Not an impediment. If we say, oh, I cannot, that I can't do bhakti because of whatever, I'm not so educated, I don't have the capacity, nothing, or I'm born in a certain family, I'm born this way or that, nothing material is an impediment to engage in devotional service. Why? Why?
Because you're doing devotional service, you're doing for Krishna.
Yes. And because we ourselves are not material, we are souls.
Okay.
We are souls, and devotional service is the eternal occupation of every living entity. It is the eternal occupation, the Sanatan Dharma. What is Sanatan Dharma? Of the soul. That is Sanatan Dharma. A devotional service. And so that's the reason nothing material can stop anyone's spiritual progress, because that's who we are, that's what we do. It's just now because we are thinking we are the body, then we put all these different conditions and all these things, but those are all material. So that's what it is. So just by having faith in the bona fide spiritual master and Sri Krishna, all the Vedic knowledge is revealed to us. Is revealed. Vedic spiritual knowledge is revealed. That's the way that it's received, by attracting the mercy of Guru and Krishna. Then automatically the knowledge is revealed in our heart. So of course, hearing and chanting goes on. Hearing and chanting goes on, So text 14, Ima duhitaraha satyastava vatsa suma dhyamaha sargam etam prabhavesver brahma yeshyanti anekadha. Lord Brahma then praised Kardama Muni's 9 daughters, saying, all your thin-waisted daughters are certainly very chaste. I am sure they will increase this creation by their own descendants in various ways. In the beginning of creation, Brahma was concerned more or less with increasing the population. And when he saw that Kardama Muni had already begotten 9 nice daughters, he was hopeful that through the daughters, many children would come who would take charge of the creative principle of the material world. He was therefore happy to see them. The word Sumadhyama means a good daughter of a beautiful woman. If she has a thin waist, a woman is considered very beautiful. All the daughters of Kardama Muni were of the same beautiful feature. So these are qualified personalities, these daughters. They are qualified personalities of qualified parents, and grandfather is Brahmaji, so not ordinary living entities. Atastam rishi mukhyebhyo yatha shilam yatha ruchi atmaja paridehi adya Vistrinihi Yasho Bhuvi. Therefore, today, please give away your daughters to the foremost of the sages with due regard for the girls' temperaments and likings, and thereby spread your fame all over the universe. The 9 principal rishis or sages are Marichi, Atri, Angira, Pulastya, Pulaha, Kritu, Bhrigu, Vashishta, and Atharva. All these rishis are most important, and Brahma desired that the 9 daughters already born of Kardama Muni be handed over to them. So the 9 great sages, and Brahma is saying to Kardama Muni, you please let your daughters get married to these great rishis. Here 2 words are used very significantly, Yathashilam and Yatharuchi. The daughters should be handed over to the respective rishis, not blindly, but according to the combination of character and taste. That is the art of combining a man and woman. So depending on the personality, is the personality is matching or no of the girl and the boy, like that. Character and taste, the qualities, how we heard also Kardama Muni and Devahuti, how it is, it was that they were suited for each other. Suited. So why is this being taught in Bhagavatam? For us to follow, so that we can follow this and then have a happy, peaceful married life, and at the same time cultivate spiritual knowledge. For whoever needs, whoever is going to get married, and majority of the population is going to get married, right? So the man and woman should not be united simply on the consideration of sex life. There are many other considerations, especially character and taste. If the taste and character differ between the man and woman, the combination will be unhappy. Character and taste. This is what is being told here. Even about 40 years ago in Indian marriages, the taste and character of the boy and girl were first of all matched, and then they were allowed to marry. This was done under the direction of the respective parents. The parents used to astrologically determine the character and tastes of the boy and girl, and when they correspond, the match was selected. This girl and this boy are just suitable, and they should be married. Other considerations were less important. The same system was also advised in the beginning of the creation by Brahma. Your daughters should be handed over to the rishis according to character, according to taste and character. So why is Prabhupada speaking so much about marriage here? Is because he was seeing when he came at that time that the young boys and girls, they were getting together, but then they were not getting married, and then they were getting married, but then they were leaving. He saw that the whole situation of the society was already that people were getting married and they were getting divorced. So to try to bring some, to guide the society in a proper manner, he's putting so much importance here in his purport, and in this purport, because it's relevant, that how the girl and boy should, that if they are similar, then they should come together for marriage. And
So that means that horoscopes are being matched. That's chatti, we call it.
Chatti. Yeah, some families still do the chatti.
Right. So I think this is what it means, right? Matching the horoscope.
Yeah. So to understand if character and taste of boy and girl it matches or no. Now I think the chatti matching is getting even lesser now, because
so there are still
Yeah, there are still. And also we need to find someone who's really knowledgeable in matching, you know. So considering all this, and then the point is that the girl and boy, that the personalities really match, so that society at large can be peaceful, so that society at large, because Srila Prabhupada is an acharya. He's an acharya, so he's teaching us how to live practically in this world peacefully and at the same time cultivate spiritual knowledge and leave this world, you know. So if there's so many divorces, so many unwanted children, then the mind is not at peace. So then if the mind is not at peace, not many would be inclined to understand spirituality, you know. So that's the reason. That's what I think, according to me, that Prabhupada is, that's the reason he's speaking so much about it here, you know. Because he's made this reference even in his talks when we hear his lectures. So according to astrological calculation, a person is classified according to whether he belongs to the godly or demoniac quality. In that way, the spouse was selected. A girl of godly quality should be handed over to a boy of godly quality. A girl of demoniac quality should be handed over to a boy of demoniac quality. Then they will be happy. But if the girl is demoniac and the boy is godly, then the combination is incompatible. They cannot be happy in such a marriage. At the present moment, here this comes. At the present moment, because boys and girls are not married according to quality and character, most marriages are unhappy and there is divorce. So here, because of the current situation, that's why Prabhupada is saying, marry according to quality and character so you can have a happy married life. Then we might say, oh, but he's a sannyasi and a spiritualist. Why is he saying about marriage? But because he's practical, he knows that majority of the people are going to get married, and that's the current situation of the society. And so how to give Krishna consciousness to each and every person, not only to the renounced people, but to everyone, even the family people like us. So it is foretold in the 12th canto of the Bhagavatam that in this age of Kali, married life will be accepted on the consideration of sex only. When the boy and girl are pleased in sex, they get married. And when there is deficiency in sex, they separate. But that is not actual marriage, but a combination of men and women like cats and dogs. Therefore, the children produced in the modern age are not exactly human beings. Human beings must be twice born. A child is first born of a good father and mother, and then he's born again of the spiritual master and the Vedas. The first mother and father bring about his birth into the world. Then the spiritual master and the Vedas become his second father and mother. So the Vedas are our mother. Vedas, they are our mother, because she's guiding us. Who's the father? All the Vedas. Because if we want to understand who's the father, who do we go to? We go to the mother, my dear mother, who's my father. And she will say. Similarly, the Vedic knowledge tells us who's our father, who's our supreme father. And all the Vedic scriptures declare that Krishna is the supreme father. According to the Vedic system of marriage for producing children, every man and woman was enlightened in spiritual knowledge. And at that time of their combination to produce a child, everything was scrutinizingly and scientifically done. So we can see here the mood of Srila Prabhupada. Why is he saying that? He's saying, get married according to quality and character, be qualified yourself, and then you bring forth good children. So that what happens is that you will become spiritually advanced and you can bring forth a child also, and who can be spiritually advanced. And in that way, the whole society at large is going to be peaceful, while here at the same time understanding that I need to make this my last life. I need to get out of here. You know, and that understanding was the what is the aim of this human life. So this is, we can see that how his mood and mission is that everyone live happily here, at the same time cultivate spiritual knowledge and go back home. Is that okay?
Yes.
So we'll stop here for today.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening in and joining in. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Bhaktavinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Happy Cheti Chand.
Happy Cheti Chand. Oh, today's Cheti Chand.
Yeah.
Oh,
Today's
thank you.
Cheti Chand, no?
Oh,
Yeah.
happy Cheti Chand.
Yeah. Cindy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year.
And even the Chaitra, like for us also, it's a new year. Vikram Samvat starts today. Yeah.
Okay, Happy
Right.
New Year.
Navratra. Yeah, the first day of Navratra.
Right.
Yeah.
I think even South also, something they have also. No? The
Navratri.
South.
So then Ram Navami will be coming up soon.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's on
Yeah.
Sunday. As far as
Okay.
I remember, it's on next Sunday, I think.
It's Sunday, is it? Oh, okay.
Because the Navratra is today, so then
Right.
it will start.
Lord Ramachandra's appearance. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm.
Okay. Festivals then.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.